Hi everyone, in this video we are dealing with how to find square root of a number using prime factorization method. Prime factors are those numbers who have only two factors, one and the number itself. Examples of prime factors are 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, etc. Let's see how to find square root of a number using prime factorization method. First of all, we take example of 900. We have to divide this number using its prime factors. First of all, we check the availability of the smallest prime factor, that is 2. This number is even, so we can divide it by 2. We get 450. Again, we got an even number, we can divide it by 2. We get 225. This is not an even number, we cannot divide it by 2. So we check for the availability of next prime number, that is 3. The sum of these numbers is 9, which is divisible by 3. So this number 225 is divisible by 3. If we divide it by 3, we get 75. Again, the sum of these numbers is 12, which is divisible by 3. So this number 75 is divisible by 3. We divide it by 3, we get 25. Here the sum of numbers is 7, which is not divisible by 3. So we go for the availability of next prime number, that is 5. We divide it by 5, we get 5. We got a prime number at the end of the prime factorization process. So we stop the process at this point. We get the prime factorization of 900 as the product of these numbers. We write it as 900 equals 2 into 2 into 3 into 3 into 5 into 5. The next process is we have to pair these prime factors like this. Yes, we have paired. Then we have to write it as exponents. 2 square into 3 square into 5 square. We can write it as 2 into 3 into 5 the whole square, that is 6 into 5 the whole square, that is 30 square. Therefore the square root of 900 equals 30. Next example is 8100. So it is an even number, so we can divide it by 2. We get 4050. Again we got an even number, so we can divide by 2. We get 2025. It is not an even number, so we cannot divide by 2, but it is divisible by 3. We can divide by 3. We get 675. Again it is divisible by 3. We divide by 3. We get 225. Again it is divisible by 3. We divide by 3. We get 75. Again it is divisible by 3, we divide by 3, we get 25. It is not divisible by 3, but it is divisible by 5. We divide by 5, we get 5. Here we got a prime number at the end of the prime factorization process. So we can stop the process at this point. The prime factorization of 8100 equals 2 into 2 into 3 into 3 into 3 into 3 into 5 into 5. Next step, we have to pair these factors. Yes, like this. Next we have to write this as power. 2 square into 3 square into 3 square into 5 square. Next we have to write this as like this. It is 6 into 15 whole square is 90 square. Therefore root of 8100 equals 90. Next example is 4096. It is an even number, so we can divide by 2. We get 2048. Again we got an even number, we can divide by 2. We get 1025. Again we got an even number, we can divide it by 2, we get 512. Again we got an even number, we can divide by 2, we get 256. Again we got an even number, we can divide by 2, we get 128. Again, it's an even number, we can divide by 2, we get 64. Even number, divide by 2, 32. Even number, divide by 2, 16. Even number, we can divide by 2, we get 8. Even number, we can divide by 2, we get 4. Even number, divide by 2, we get 2. Yes, we got a prime number at the end of the factorization process. We stop the division process at this point. We get the prime factorization of 4096 as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 twos. Yes, there are 12 twos. You have to pair like this. Next step, we have to write them as powers. 2 square into 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 2 square. Yes, there are 6 2 squares. We get this 8 into 8 whole square equals 64 square. Therefore, root of 4096 is 64. Next example is 729. This number is not even, so we cannot divide by 2, but the sum of the digits is 18, which is divisible by 3. So the number 729 is divisible by 3. We divide by 3, we get 243. Again, it is divisible by 3. So we divide by 3, we get 81. Again, it is divisible by 3. We divide by 3, we get 27. Again, it is divisible by 3. We divide by 3, we get 9. Again, it is divisible by 3. We write 3, 3. We got a prime number at the end of the prime factorization process. So we stop the division at this point. The prime factorization of 729 is the product of these numbers. We write 729 equals 3 into 3 into 3 into 3 into 3 into 3. We have to pair these like this and write them as powers. 3 square into 3 square into 3 square equals 3 into 3 into 3 the whole square equals 27 square. Therefore, square root of 729 equals 27. Like this, we can find square root of any square number. That's all for today. Have a nice day. Thank you.